செக். அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். தமிழ்நாடு டாக்டர் அம்பேத்கர் சட்ட பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் 13வது பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் உங்கள் அனைவரையும் பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் சார்பாக அன்புடன் வரவேற்கின்றோம்.
Ladies and gentlemen, a heartfelt welcome to the dignitaries, beloved students, and esteemed families gathered here today for the 13th Convocation of the Tamil Nadu Dr.Ambedkar Law University. Your presence marks a significant moment of celebration and achievement. Today, we celebrate the academic accomplishments of our graduates and their readiness to embark on a journey of service and advocacy. Thank you, revered teachers and family members, for joining us as we honor the academic triumphs of our students. Dear graduates, before we begin the convocation ceremony, I would like to provide you with a few instructions. The invitees are requested to be in their respective seats. All of you are requested to rise when the academic procession enters the auditorium and remain standing till the members of the procession are seated. All are requested to stand up for the national anthem, followed by invocation. At the convocation, all are requested to remain standing when the national anthem is sung
Hello.
until the procession
Check.
leaves the
Hello.
auditorium.
Check. 1, 2, 3.
Only authorized photographers will be permitted to take photographs during the ceremony.
Check. 1, 2, 3.
All your mobile phones must be switched off before the commencement of the ceremony.
Hello. Check. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Hello.
அழைப்பாளர்களின் கவனத்திற்கு. பட்டமளிப்பு குழு அணிவகுப்பு அரங்கினுள் வரும்போது அனைவரும் எழுந்து நின்று அணிவகுப்பினர் அமர்ந்த பின்னர் தங்களது இருக்கையில் அமர வேண்டும். நாட்டுப்பண்ணை தொடர்ந்து தமிழ்த்தாய் வாழ்த்து இசைக்கும் போதும் அனைவரும் எழுந்து நிற்க வேண்டுகிறோம். பட்டமளிப்பு விழா நிறைவுற்று நாட்டுப்பண் இசைக்கும் போதும் பட்டமளிப்பு குழு அணிவகுப்பு அரங்கை விட்டு செல்லும் போதும் அனைவரும் எழுந்து நிற்க. ஒப்புதல் பெற்ற புகைப்படக்காரர்கள் மட்டுமே நிகழ்ச்சியின் போது புகைப்படம் எடுக்க அனுமதிக்கப்படும். அரங்கிற்குள் கைபேசி பயன்படுத்த வேண்டாம் என்று கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். நன்றி.
Hello. Check. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
பட்டம் பெற வரும் மாணவர்கள் அரங்கத்தின் வலது பக்கமாக ஏறி இடது பக்கமாக இறங்குமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம்.
You are requested to come on the stage by the left side and exit by the other side.
ஹலோ ஹலோ
ஓகே. அவங்க இப்போ வாங்கி சொன்னாங்க. அவங்களுக்கு காம்பேரிங் இது இப்போ வந்து அந்த காம்பேரிங்
When the governor brings out the that the students here in
Hello.
இது இங்க வர மாட்டாங்க வந்து
Check, check. Hello.
செகண்ட் பிரசிடென்ட் வார்த்தையே வேண்டாம். அவங்களுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் செகண்ட் டிஃபரன்ஸ் என்ன பண்ணலாம்? இதை மட்டும் சொல்லி விட்டுருவோம். கவர்னர் ரீச் அவுட்
Check. Hello.
கவர்னர் ரீச் அவுட் கரெக்டா இருக்கா? அந்த வார்த்தை கொஞ்சம்
Check.
சரிவா இருக்கா?
Hello.
Students are requested the first blood alone with the honorable governor. Reach out வந்து இந்த கலோக்கியல் இந்த இடத்துக்கு அட்ரஸ் பண்றத ரிட்டர்ன் பண்ணி பாருங்க. Students are requested to repeat the first blood alone. அது மட்டும் சொல்லி விட்டுருலாமே. கரெக்ட். ரிப்பீட்னாலே அவங்க சொல்றது தானப்பா. 954 இன்னொரு வாட்டி சொன்னாங்க. யூ கிவ்ஸ் அவுட் அந்த மாதிரி வார்த்தைகள் வேண்டாம் நான் ஃபீல் பண்றேன். எனக்கு தெரியல. தெரியல சில சமயம் நம்ம கேட்டா அதுக்கு வேணும். அதுதான் are requested to repeat the யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். நான் கொடுத்துட்றேன். ஆனா அவங்க முடிக்கும் போதே நான் ஆரம்பிக்கணும். அதுங்க உடனே என்கிட்ட கொடுக்கணும். Students are requested to repeat the first pledge alone. அவங்களுக்கு தெரியும். அவங்க வரவங்க pledge தெரியும் இல்லையா? அது எல்லாமே தெரியும். சொல்றதா எப்படி சொல்றதுன்னு பார்க்கலாம். Students are requested to repeat the first pledge alone when the governor says சொன்னாங்க. கிருபானா அந்த சோஃபால ஒருத்தர் உட்காந்துருக்காரு. யாரு? அதான் கொஞ்சம் கால்ல எல்லாம் அச்சிதானந்தன் சார். நீங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி சொல்லுங்க. கவர்னர் ரீச் தி ஃபர்ஸ்ட். I request everyone to come as per the order allotted. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். தமிழ்நாடு டாக்டர் அம்பேத்கர் சட்ட பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் 13வது பட்டளிப்பு விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் உங்கள் அனைவரையும் பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் வரவேற்கின்றோம். அழைப்பாளர்களின் கவனத்திற்கு பட்டமளிப்பு குழு அணிவகுப்பு அரங்கினுள் வரும்போது அனைவரும் எழுந்து நின்று அணிவகுப்பினர் அமர்ந்த பின்னர் தங்களது இருக்கையில் அமர வேண்டுகிறோம். நாட்டுப்பண்ணை நாட்டுப்பண்ணை தொடர்ந்து தமிழ்தாய் வாழ்த்து இசைக்கும் போது அனைவரும் எழுந்து நிற்க வேண்டுகிறோம். பட்டமளிப்பு விழா நிறைவுற்று பட்டமளிப்பு குழு அணிவகுப்பு அரங்கை விட்டு செல்லும் போதும் எழுந்து நிற்க வேண்டுகிறோம். ஒப்புதல் பெற்ற புகைப்படக்காரர்கள் மட்டுமே நிகழ்ச்சியின் போது புகைப்படம் எடுக்க அனுமதிக்கப்படுவர். அரங்கத்திற்குள் கைபேசி பயன்படுத்த வேண்டாம் என்று கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். பட்டம் பெறும் மாணவர்களின் கவனத்திற்கு தங்களது சான்றிதழை அதிகாரிகள் கூறும் விதத்தில் பிடித்துக் கொண்டு மேடை ஏறவும். தங்களுக்கு அமைத்து கொடுத்திருக்கும் வரிசையில் ஒருவர் பின் ஒருவராக மேடைக்கு வர வேண்டுகிறோம். உறுதிமொழி எடுக்கும் போது பட்டம் பெறும் மாணவர்கள் மட்டுமே எழுந்து நிற்க வேண்டும். முதல் உறுதிமொழியை மட்டும் பெறும் மாணவர்கள் ஆளுநர் கூறிய பின்பு கூற வேண்டும். பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் அனைவரையும் தங்களது கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். நன்றி.
All the dignitaries and esteemed families and my dear who have gathered here today for the 13th Convocation of Ambedkar Law University. So, in the convocation ceremony, I would like to provide you with a few instructions. The invitees are requested
ஆல் தி பெஸ்ட். ஆமா கண்டிப்பா கண்டிப்பா வருவான். 2 பேருமே அந்த பேஸ்ல. ஆமா ரொம்ப சீக்கிரம்.
உடனே கொடுப்பீங்களா இல்ல ஒன்னே போதுமா உங்களுக்கு? அது இல்ல இல்ல எனக்கு அங்கிருந்து வர லேட் ஆயிடும். இந்த கார்னர்ல இருக்கவங்க கொடுக்கும். இல்ல 3 பேருமே அங்க நின்னா சரியா இருக்குமா?
இப்ப சொன்னாதான் ரீச் ஆகும். ஏன்னா அவங்களா போயிட்டாங்க இல்லையா? அவங்க போகல, நான் அவங்களுக்குலாம் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன்ஸ் கொடுத்துட்டு என்ன கொடுக்கணும். இது வந்து ஜெனரல் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் ரைட் பண்ணி
ஓகே 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 ஓகே. பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் அனைவருக்கும் காலை வணக்கம். தமிழ்நாடு டாக்டர் அம்பேத்கர் சட்ட பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் 13வது பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் உங்கள் அனைவரையும் பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் சார்பாக அன்புடன் வரவேற்கின்றோம். பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் அனைவரையும் தங்களது இருக்கையில் அமருமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். அழைப்பாளர்களின் கவனத்திற்கு, பட்டமளிப்பு குழு அணிவகுப்பு அரங்கினுள் வரும்போது அனைவரும் எழுந்து நின்று அணிவகுப்பினர் அமர்ந்த பின்னர் தங்களது இருக்கையில் அமர வேண்டுகிறோம். நாட்டுப்பண்ணை தொடர்ந்து தமிழ்தாய் வாழ்த்து இசைக்கும் போது அனைவரும் எழுந்து நிற்க வேண்டுகிறோம். பட்டமளிப்பு விழா நிறைவுற்று நாட்டுப்பண் இசைக்கும் போதும் பட்டமளிப்பு குழு அணிவகுப்பு அரங்கை விட்டு செல்லும் போதும் அனைவரும் எழுந்து நிற்க வேண்டுகிறோம். ஒப்புதல் பெற்ற புகைப்படக்காரர்கள் மட்டுமே நிகழ்ச்சியின் போது புகைப்படம் எடுக்க அனுமதிக்கப்படுவர். அரங்கத்திற்குள் கைபேசி பயன்படுத்த வேண்டாம் என்று கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். நன்றி.
A warm welcome to everyone present here. For the kind attention of invitees, the invitees are requested to be in their respective seats. All of you are requested to rise when the academic procession enters the auditorium and remain standing till the members of the procession are seated. All are requested to stand up for the national anthem followed by invocation. At the convocation, all are requested to remain standing when the national anthem is sung until the procession leaves the auditorium. Only authorized photographers will be permitted to take photographs during the ceremony. All your mobile phones must be switched off before the commencement of the ceremony.
Check, check. Hello, check. Come.
தலைமை விருந்தினர்கள் விரைவில் அரங்கத்திற்கு வருகை தர உள்ளனர். பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் அனைவரையும் தங்களது இருக்கையில்
As the guests are appreciate your cooperation in maintaining a quiet atmosphere.
பட்டமளிப்பு குழு அணிவகுப்பு அரங்கினுள் வரும்போது அனைவரும் எழுந்து நின்று பின்னர் அமர்ந்த பின்னர் தங்களது இருக்கையில் அமர வேண்டுகிறோம். நாட்டுப்பண்ணை தொடர்ந்து தமிழ்தாய் வாழ்த்து இசைக்கும் போது அனைவரும் எழுந்து நிற்க வேண்டுகிறோம். பட்டமளிப்பு விழா நிறைவுற்று பட்டமளிப்பு குழு அரங்கை விட்டு செல்லும் போதும் அனைவரும் ஒப்புதல் பெற்ற புகைப்படக்காரர்கள் மட்டுமே புகைப்படம் எடுக்க அனுமதிக்கப்படுவர். அரங்கினுள் கைபேசி பயன்படுத்த வேண்டாம் என்று கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். தலைமை விருந்தினர்கள் விரைவில் அரங்கத்திற்கு வருகை தர உள்ளனர். அவையோர் அனைவரையும் தங்களது இருக்கையில் அமருமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். பட்டமளிப்பு குழு அணிவகுப்பு அரங்கை நோக்கி வந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். அனைவரும் எழுந்து நிற்குமாறு வேண்டுகிறோம்.
Invocation.
जन मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल भंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे। गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிது। தெக்கனமும் மகிழ்ந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே। அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திரும்பியது செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
Lighting of Kuttuvilakku enlightens and illuminates the path towards wisdom while dispelling all forms of ignorance. மாண்புமிகு ஆளுநர் வேந்தர் அவர்களை குத்துவிளக்கு ஏற்ற பணிவன்போடு அழைக்கின்றோம். மரியாதைக்குரிய இந்திய அரசின் தலைமை வழக்குரைஞர் அவர்களையும் பணிவன்போடு அழைக்கின்றோம். மாண்புமிகு இணைவேந்தர் அவர்களையும் பணிவன்போடு அழைக்கின்றோம். மதிப்பிற்குரிய துணைவேந்தர் மற்றும் பதிவாளர் அவர்களையும் அன்போடு அழைக்கின்றோம்.
I invite the Vice Chancellor to deliver the welcome address and present the report on the academic achievements of the university.
Honorable Governor Chancellor, distinguished chief guest for this convocation, most respected Attorney General of India through Venkataramani ji, Honorable Pro Chancellor and Minister for Law, Courts and Prison, Sri S. Regupathy ji, this is Madam Attorney General, Secretary Law, Mr. George Alexander, Governor's Personal Secretary, Mr. Santhosh Kumar, IAS, Former Law Secretary and present member of Official Language Commission, Ravi Kumar, Women Registrar of this University, Dr. Ravi, esteemed syndicate and Senate members, Director of Legal Studies, Dr. Lakshmi, Mr. Jasmine, Official Language Commission member, Honorable Vice Chancellor, former Vice Chancellor Dr. Aditya, former Vice Chancellor, Tamil Nadu National Law School Dr. Murugavel, officials of Raj Bhavan, former Vice Chancellor of Dr. Ambedkar University, Dr. Darwish, distinguished advocates, guests and invitees, electronics and print media others, my university family members, the teaching and non-teaching faculty members, their graduates and their parents and guests. Very good morning to one and all, and welcome to this 13th Convocation function. It is indeed a great honor and privilege that I stand before you today for the 13th Convocation of the Tamil Nadu Dr.Ambedkar University, which I feel that it is a blessing of all my elders in my 36 years of service to the legal education, for which I bow before each and every one. Once Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. Yes, it is a fundamental weapon of progress and development for any country. Investing in education yields significant returns in terms of economic growth, social development, and overall well-being. A nation's progress starts with the educational institution. Of late, India has emerged as a global hub for technology and innovation with a thriving IT industry, a rapidly growing startup ecosystem, and significant investment in research and developments. Three pillars of the nation, the legislature, executive, and judiciary, collectively contribute to cohesion, social cohesion, and economic development, and uphold the rule of law, protecting the rights and fostering inclusive governance. Legal institutions play a significant role in their harmonious functioning to ensure that the principle of democracy, justice, and equality are upheld, and laying the foundation for just, prosperous, and democratic society, for which the contribution of this university is really marvelous. Nadu Dr.Ambedkar Law University is the first affiliating type of university in South Asia, established by government of Tamil Nadu in the year 1997. And it has become one of the biggest law university in South Asia now. It's recognized by UGC, Bar Council of India, and accredited by NAC also. This university has, in addition to PG and UG program with 4,000 students in its campus, it has 15 government law colleges and 9 private law colleges at its ambit, with more than 20,000 students are presently pursuing UG law degree courses. The final cut-off marks for the 5-year honors degree course offered at School of Excellence in Law is 98.750. 3-year course is above 85, and for affiliated college it is 87, and 3-year is above 75. It shows the demand of law degrees and standard, and it is now competing with the national law schools in India. In this university campus, there are 11 PG departments with 220 students on its roll, and its affiliated law colleges has got more than 23 LLM degree courses, wherein nearly 416, altogether 680 students are pursuing postgraduate studies. Many of the students are clearing net qualification while doing their postgraduate studies itself. This university gives recognition for research and takes all steps to promote research. It offers PhD research program in law and interdisciplinary subjects, both in full-time and part-time, and maintain good standard in research project by allowing the researchers to undergo rigorous research formalities, including plagiarism, etc. This university, only with one discipline called law, has admitted 132 candidates in one stroke for the PhD program last year. And this year, it has notified 96 vacancies. These candidates will be admitted in the month of March. Altogether, nearly 300 students will do their research in the university from next month. It shows our commitment to promote research. After I assumed charge as a Vice Chancellor of this university, it has entered into 14 memorandum of understanding with reputed institutions, including 3 foreign universities: the University of Kebansan, Malaysia, University of Connecticut, Fonseca University, USA, then Institute of Company Secretaries of India, IIT Bombay, Gujarat National Law University, Child and Adolescent Foundation of India, Bengaluru, Professor Dharmagan College of Arts and Science, Chennai, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu in Puducherry, AA Care Global Private Limited, Chennai, Manikchand Bahade Law College, Aurangabad, Bombay, Gujarat Maritime Law University, Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University, and Surana and Surana Attorney, Chennai. We are utilizing these MOUs for the betterment of legal education and for the individual upliftment of the students. This university has conducted more than 300 seminars, national and international conferences, special lectures, workshops, outreach programs on various legal aspects, both offline and online, as one-day, one-program basis by involving lots of legal luminaries, honorable judges of Supreme Court of India, High Court of Madras, vice chancellors of various law schools, jurists, scholars, and professors from India and abroad have given their scholarly contribution to this university. This university's moot court performance is marvelous. Our mooters are bringing high reputation this university by participation in international moot courts such as Philip C. Jessipa International Law Moot Court Competition, Washington, D.C. The team representing our university ranked 32 out of 600 teams that participated in the 64th edition. Our students were recipients of Best Prosecution Memorandum Award among 112 teams and second Best Memorandum Defense Award in the Nuremberg Moot Court Competition in Germany. Our students were the winners of Victorian International Moot Court Tournament in 2022 at Australia. The team representing Soil were adjudged as the winners of the SARC rounds of 28th Stetson International Environment Law Moot Court Competition. Smriti, our final year student, was selected as the student of Students Director of International Law Students Association, Washington, which conducts the prestigious Philip International Moot Court Competition. Our student, Ms. Ashwini Nadesan, legal consultant and researcher, specialized in technology, media, and telecommunication, got the position of member of the Law Reforms Advisory Committee of Ministry of Justice, Sri Lanka. Our students, Fatima Al-Sahara, was chosen by US Embassy, India, to represent at the Everest International Model United Nations 2023. Her trip was fully sponsored and additional reward of 120 pounds also showcased her exceptional talent and dedication. Her outstanding performance, deep knowledge, and impressive research earned her the Best Position Paper Award at the highly esteemed International Model United Nations Conference, featuring participants from different countries across the globe. Our student, Mr. Sunand Subramaniam, was selected to work with Dr. Bimal N. Patel, member United Nations International Law Commission, as a body of experts with a mandate to progressively develop and codify international law. He also attended the annual session of United Nations International Labour Organization at the UN Geneva. One of our students, Sidana, interned under Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, till recently. Another student, Ms. Amruta, is interning under Honorable Justice Nagaratna, Judge of Supreme Court of India. Another student, Sri Rajesh, has become one of the student directors of International Law Students Association. I am extremely happy to present that all the 11 postgraduate departments of our university, along with the Department of Library and Physical Education, are publishing journals every year, for which the process of obtaining ISSN number is going on with the Central Education Ministry, thanks to the standard of our peer-reviewed journals. The first law journal in Tamil was released by the university in September 2022. This university has established an e-journal for the first time, was released in the year 2023. Further, our students themselves are running a journal, Ambedkar Law University Journal, popularly called as ALUJ, which is also an example of reputation of our university, by which total 16 journals this university is publishing, which is a record when compared to other law institutions. This university has a proud of elevating our law graduates as administrators in the cadre of IAS, IPS, IRS, and IFS, judges in Army, IAS, secured examination, and was serving as Collector Dharmaburi until recently. It is the first state law university commemorated India's G20 presidency by organizing mega national G20 public simulation at a broad theme of tourism between 20th August and 22nd August. More than 40 experts deliberated extensively on the 5 themes: green tourism, film tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism, and revival of tourism in economic sector. The Honorable High Court judges, Deputy High Commissioners of Sri Lanka, Russia, and other consulate officials from 12 nations, eminent academicians, stakeholders, and eminent personalities from the field of medicine, tourism, film, environmental, culture, and micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises had taken part. Besides, 200 students from all over India have participated in that simulation round. Our Honorable Chancellor participated and graced the valedictory session also. The outcome was sent to the Ministry of External Affairs for incorporating in their submit. Our university is second to none in the extracurricular activities also. In sports, students have bagged medals and prizes in various sports competitions organized at the state and national level. Association of Indian Universities, New Delhi, has selected this university to organize South Zone Inter-University Hockey Tournament for women last year and chess tournament for women and table tennis for men have been conducted recently. This university excels in NCC activities, which is being appreciated by the director of NCC New Delhi with his presence in our campus. Our university participated in the Republic Day parade 14th time continuously, which is a record among all institutions all over the country. Besides, this university bagged lot of medals in different national level competition conducted by DGNCC through its different camps. I am extremely happy to inform this audience that this university vice chancellor was selected by the Ministry of Defence, New Delhi, to confer colonel status and has been appointed as the colonel commandant of this university, which was purely based on merit in Scout, NCC, and patriotic activity. Our university never fails to keep the patriotism in the minds of students, teachers, and other people of the society, for which periodically we do many events in this regard. Recently, we have conducted a massive rally consisting of 500 plus students and teachers in commemoration of Subhash Chandra Bose Day. This university is publishing 5 books on unsung heroes of Indian freedom movement. It is a lovely project of our Honorable Chancellor. This university is releasing yet another book on contribution of Tamil Nadu lawyers to the freedom movement in India shortly. After a long gap of 13 years, recently this university has recruited 48 assistant professors after facing lot of legal hurdles by following strict norms stipulated by UGC, our university regulation, and the monitoring committee direction, which was very transparent, honest, and meritorious, and the selection is being appreciated by many. Through this report, I am extremely happy to present before this August forum that this university, under the able leadership of Honorable Chancellor and Pro-Chancellor, moving in a right direction in promotion of educational, co-curricular, and extracurricular activities. As a specimen university in the field of law. With the permission of the chair, let me move on to my burden duty to welcome our beloved guest of this morning. Honorable Sri Ravindra Narayan Ravi is the Governor of Nadu Peace Process, Chairman of the Joint Prime Minister Office, Deputy National Security Advisor, etc. The Governor Chancellor always insists on the spirit of historical oneness of those who have participated. He strongly propounded that the growth of the nation rests with the growth of the people. Therefore, he strongly believed that it would take India to the global summit of leadership by 2047. Many places, Honorable Chancellor's patriotism is witnessed, especially while paying tribute to the valiant members of the armed forces, security agencies, and people who, with their relentless vigil, valor, and sacrifices, defend the territorial integrity and sovereignty of our country and ensure internal peace, stability, and social harmony. Honorable Chancellor interests was a nation not only blessed with the current scenario, but also goes back before the period of independence. He has decided to unearth the dedication of Tamil Nadu unsung heroes of freedom movement, for which he has formulated a project and entrusted to the universities to explore it. He made a close watch on the universities and got a grand success. Now, nearly 100 plus unsung heroes' dedication in freedom of movement was unearthed at his instance. Consequently, it is being made to the knowledge of the general public in the form of individual books. Honorable Chancellor's interest towards the nation can be witnessed while appreciating the services of volunteers and voluntary organizations for their selfless and outstanding rescue and relief to the victim of cyclonic storm Nichang and torrential rain and floods in southern districts of our state. He even expressed his gratitude to the fishermen for their rescue and relief services in flood-affected southern district. He shared the nation's pride on our scientists for bringing glory to the nation with a successful mission to the moon, Chandrayaan-3 and Aditya A1. Honorable Chancellor is balancing the government responsibilities and the university responsibilities as his two eyes. His interest was promoting higher education through the universities can be witnessed in the periodical meetings with the vice chancellors at Rajbhavan and other places, and also its follow-up actions. His frequent meeting with the educational authorities, and even he is periodically meeting with school children without fail. In all the meetings, he, besides the academic activities of the universities and schools, he discussed about the financial position and advocate the way out of all the financial constraints. Honorable Chancellor, benevolent attitude reflected on his recent direction to the vice chancellors to conduct mass organ donation program, through which he has not only created awareness among the youth, but also he has visualized how this program is going to save the huge number of invaluable lives. On behalf of this prestigious university and all dignitaries on the days and off the days, Senate and syndicate members, students and graduates, I extend a warm welcome to our Honorable Chancellor. We have with us yet another coveted personality, a dedicated personality, a devoted personality, a committed personality, of course, a complete man, who is none other than our beloved Attorney General of India, our proud son of the soil, Thiru R. Venkataramani. Sri Venkataramani was born in Pondicherry and schooled at Petit Samay Higher Secondary School, Pondicherry. Graduated in physics from esteemed Loyola College, Chennai. Studied law at Pondicherry Government Law College and enrolled in the year 1977. Joined in the chamber of P.P. Rao Senior Advocate Supreme Court in 1979 and earned a practice experience of 45 years in the Supreme Court and the High Court. He set his practice in various branches of law, prominently constitutional law, law of indirect taxes, human rights law, civil and criminal law, consumer law, as well as law relating to services. Throughout his career, he represented various clients, including the central government, state government, universities, and public sector entities in both the Supreme Court and High Court. Subsequently, he was appointed as a senior advocate by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. He was also a member of Law Commission of India twice during the year 2010 and 13. He acted as a receiver in the Amrapali case and also represented parties in the recent Hijab case in Supreme Court of India. He has appeared as a counsel for the Supreme Court in cases concerning the service conditions of court employees also. He is a good orator. He was invited to speak at the workshop jointly organized by the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights and International Commission of Jurists at Geneva in 2001. He had involved by the International Court of Justice with his activities in the Agro-Asian region. He has recently organized a Commonwealth Attorney and Solicitor General Conference 2024 on cross-border challenges in justice delivery system on 2nd and 5th of February 2024, where our Prime Minister of India has participated and appreciated our Attorney General of India for his earnest efforts in this regard. on behalf of this prestigious university and all dignitaries on the day of the days, Senate and syndicate members and the students and graduates, I extend warm welcome to our beloved son of the soil, Attorney General of India, Sri R. Venkataramani ji. It is my distinct honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed Pro-Chancellor of this university and the Hon'ble Minister for Law, Courts and Prison and Prevention of Corruption for his convocation ceremony. With his rich experience as a Central Minister for Forest and Environment, as a Member of Parliament, as a Honorable Law Minister of Tamil Nadu, as a Member of Legislative Assembly Thirumayam, and as a member of and as a head of very many education institutions. He always acts as a dynamic pro-chancellor of our university. Many occasions, we have felt that we have a right person in as a pro-chancellor. Thanks to his vast experience in very many educational institutions, including medical education institutions. His loving control over this university helped us to upkeep the dignity and decorum of this university, and his experienced direction could shape this university infrastructure. Recently, he has sanctioned 1.72 crore towards establishment of solar power plant in our campus. It will save major portion of your electricity consumption and the university money. He has sanctioned 15 lakhs towards establishment of audio-visual video center at our campus, which helps us to do many revolutions in the field of education to that extent. Now we are going to record the lectures and free lectures and send to the affiliated law colleges and private law colleges, besides many other recorded activities. Recently, he has given us 65 lakhs towards purchase of books for the university library, which will definitely help the students to enrich their knowledge. He has given 35 lakhs towards conducting art of advocacy, the training to the students of School of Excellence in Law and the students of affiliated law colleges of this university, which will definitely augment the students to shape their career. We have submitted another proposal for sanctioning nearly 1 crore for commissioning an indoor stadium for sports and games inside our campus. Also, we have submitted a proposal to sanction nearly 70 crore to construct a boys' hostel within our campus. Beyond all, he is having a plan of establishing a branch of this university at Madurai to enable the rural students to study in the School of Excellence in Law of Dr.Ambedkar Law University, for which already proposal has been submitted to the government. For all this, he, with the smiling face, assures us that all that will be done shortly. Really, we are fortunate to have such a nice Vice Chancellor who always take care of university interests as a parent, brother, and as a teacher at times. On behalf of Law University and esteemed members gathered here today, I wholeheartedly welcome our Pro-Chancellor. I once again extend a warm welcome to our Honorable Governor Chancellor, Learned Attorney General of India, Pro-Chancellor of the University, and Honorable Minister for Law, Madam Attorney General, Vice Chancellors of other universities, former Vice Chancellors of our university, and all dignitaries on the day and of the day. Thank you very much. Thank you.
This convocation of the Tamil Nadu Dr.Ambedkar Law University has been called to confer degree, diploma, upon the candidates who appeared in the examinations recently held for the purpose, have been certified to be worthy of the same. I invite the chief guest, Thiru R. Venkataramani, Attorney General of India, to deliver the convocation address.
விழா படிப்பு கனியும் விழா. தனி வாழ்க்கையிலிருந்து பொது வாழ்க்கைக்கு அழைத்துச் செல்லும் விழா. வழக்குரைஞர் வாழ்க்கை பொது வாழ்க்கையே. சட்ட மேதை திரு அம்பேத்கர் பெயர் கொண்ட பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் பயின்று வாழ்க்கையின் அடுத்த படிக்குள் நீங்கள் நுழையும் இந்த நன்னாளில் இந்த விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்துள்ள மாண்புமிகு ஆளுநர் திரு ரவி அவர்களுக்கும் மதிப்பிற்குரிய சட்டத்துறை அமைச்சர் திரு ரகுபதி அவர்களுக்கும் என் மனமார்ந்த வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். உங்கள் விழா எனது விழா, உங்கள் மகிழ்ச்சி எனது மகிழ்ச்சி. இந்த மகிழ்ச்சியில் பங்கு கொள்ள எனக்கு வாய்ப்பு அளித்ததற்கு பல்கலைக்கழகத்திற்கு எனது உவகையை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். நான் மத்திய அரசின் முதன்மை வழக்குரைஞராக ஆன பின் ஒரு பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவில் இங்குதான் முதன்முறையாக உரையாற்றுகின்றேன். அதுவும் தமிழ் மண்ணிலே. இதுவும் எனக்கு தனி மகிழ்ச்சியே. நான் எனது உரையை தொடங்குவதற்கு முன் தமிழ் மண்ணின் சிறப்பை பெருமையுடனும் மகிழ்ச்சியுடனும் எழுதிய மகாகவி பாரதியார் எழுத்த கவிதையை நினைவு கூற விரும்புகிறேன். இது விடுதலை என்ற கவிதை. அதில் சிறு பகுதியை மட்டுமே நான் படிக்கின்றேன். பறையருக்கும் எங்கு தீயர் புலையருக்கும் விடுதலை, பரவரோடு குறவருக்கும் மறவருக்கும் விடுதலை, திறமை கொண்ட தீமையற்ற தொழில் புரிந்து யாவரும் தேர்ந்த கல்வி ஞானம் எய்து வாழ்வோம் இந்த நாட்டில். சட்டக்கல்வி தேர்ந்த கல்வி, பலவிதமான விடுதலைக்கு பாலம் போடும் கல்வி, தீமையற்ற தொழில் நிலை கொண்ட கல்வி. இந்த கல்வியில் மனப்பாங்குடன் தொடர தொடர சமூக வளர்ச்சிக்கு உறுதுணையாக இருப்பதை நீங்கள் உணர்வீர்கள். எல்லா கல்வியும் வாழ்க்கையை புடம் போடும் பயிற்சியே. ஆனால் சட்டக்கல்வி பல கோணங்களிலிருந்து மாறுபட்ட கல்வி. பல்வேறு பார்வைகளை அனைத்து ஒருங்கிணைத்து சமநோக்குடன் அணுக வைக்கும் ஒரு கல்வி. ஒரு விஞ்ஞானியை போல சமூகத்திற்கு உவந்த தேவையான புதிய கருத்துக்களை உண்டாக்கி சமூக நலத்திற்காக சிந்திக்க வைக்கும் கல்வி. வழக்குரைஞர் தொழில் தன்னலம் பின்னடங்கியே இருக்க வேண்டும். கட்டுப்பாட்டுடன் கூடிய உந்துதலும் கண்ணியத்துடன் கூடிய முன்னோக்கும் கனவுகள் கலந்த ஆர்வமும் ஊடுருவும் போது இந்த தொழில் மனநிறைவு கலந்த உன்னதமான வாழ்க்கை பாதையாக இருக்கும். உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் எனது மனமார்ந்த நல்வாழ்த்துக்கள். உங்கள் அனுமதியுடன் நான் ஆங்கில உரையை தொடர விரும்புகின்றேன். I quote from the President of USA, John Adams, a statement made way back in 1780. He said like this: I must study politics and war that my sons may have liberty to study mathematics and philosophy. My sons ought to study mathematics and philosophy, geography, natural history, naval architecture, navigation, commerce, and agriculture in order to give their children a right to study painting, poetry, music, architecture, statuary, tapestry, and porcelain. What did he mean by that? From a study of war and peace to a study of peace. That's what John Adams talked about in 1780. So we are gathered here to celebrate your joy and happiness, to celebrate a milestone in your life. I congratulate each and every one of you who have graduated and brought pride and joy to your parents. Those of you who earned higher academic qualifications with doctorates and LLM deserve special appreciation. May you all grow tall in life and the profession and constantly strive and endeavor to set up the highest standards of professional conduct and accomplishments. The 13th Convocation is an auspicious event. 13, sometimes we have a question about 13 number. But I thought the 13th Convocation is an auspicious event. The Italian expression, fare tradisi, which means literally make 13, means to hit the jackpot. 13 is a lucky number. For Colgate University, young US, founded in 1819 by 13 men with $13, 13 prayers, and 13 articles. In India, the 13th day of lunar fortnight is known to be highly auspicious, and in Sanskrit, it is called Trayodashi. The multiples of number 13 or 26, 39, 52, 65, etc. The difference between each next number and the preceding number is also 13. This day is therefore good for friendship and bonding. So you would be happy enough to graduate on a lucky number day. When you joined this institution, you moved out of the closed environment of school into the world of exploration of ideas, that is jurisprudence, experiences that are cases given for study, and explanations that are judgments and textbooks. You began to ask questions. You also found that in law, many answers of yesterday's are open to questions today. The demands of equality and fairness have begun to raise in our minds many questions which seem to elude final and irrevocable answers. The ideas of justice and dharma in the Tamil Silappatikaram, yet declared antiquated. What is conceived as right and due in Kambaramayanam may be open to current thoughts. The Star Chamber of England and its use as a political persecution will have no place in current times. The Grand Inquisitions, which suppress freedom of thought and faith, are condemned chapters of European history. Our nation can boast of thousands of years of contested ideas and faiths living together, yet we have debates about them. So it is that educational institutions are meant to guide us on acceptance and accommodation and to promote values of pluralism. The study of law today is also about pluralism of different sorts. Pluralism of global legal knowledge, global legal exchanges, and global legal institutions. Before I get deeply into today's discussion, I wish to observe that the Indian students of law, we are committed to national considerations, national welfare, national integrity, and national regard for diversities. The freedom struggle, which had common national spirits, and the constitution making were grounded in outlooks going beyond sectarian considerations. Our strength is our diversities. Our strength is our outlook of equal regard for all values and ways of life, our several languages, ancient and existing, our histories and literatures. There can be no room for despite the denigration of languages, cultures, peoples, and places. The East and the West, the North and the South are all our spaces and concerns. None of us have the authority to arrogate to ourselves the power to become absolute masters of lives and destinies of others. Our duty and freedom, our obligations and liberties as individuals and collectives to constructively fashion compliance-worthy and constitutionally sanctioned codes of conduct must coexist with the above. Conduct which promotes these will be the land of freedom, which Rabindranath Tagore envisioned and which poet Subramanya Bharati wrote about in his piece Vidudalai. Kanyakumari to Kashmir is not a mere physical or geographical space, but a vast interconnected national tapestry of history. We are the guardians of such interconnectedness. The study of economics in 19th century was a closed field of mere transactions between individuals and the state. Now, it is a study of social activities and state power and state responsibility. In other words, it's a study of dynamics and flux. So also the study of law till recently was a static study of mere unconnected subjects. Now it is a study of the dynamics of social action. The emergence of the Constitution as a governing document has turned a new chapter, never to be turned back. Your study of law today is therefore a techno-constitutional study, and in times to come, it will be justice knowledge study, driven by the dynamics of pursuit of justice in the pursuit of peace and the truth for all. Broadly, one can include in our legal universe several subjects. And then why I'm asking to look into these laws and subjects, which are going manifold. As we move further, we will notice that the study of all these involve and require us to anchor our thoughts differently from the way we studied some of them, maybe even soon after independence. That is why we may consider study of law as a techno-constitutional discipline. I wish to focus on how the changes have occurred and why the future of legal profession will be different as we get more and more conditioned by technology and liberated by technology. Our technologies today govern and enable all our transactions, and we cannot go back or afford to go back. Our personal information notebooks are both in public and private spaces and square. Our governance institutions cannot function without them. We need technology also to break away from traditional work and employments which are enslaving and lacking in dignity. In a publication titled Law, Innovation and Technology, it is said that technology is set to disrupt the traditional debate about whether and why we should respect the law. Thus, our current engagements on study of law will be incomplete without talking about how to make laws worthy of compliance and how to make them by balancing hugely competing claims. All spheres of discretion in public management are now considered opposed to rule of law. This is like a good road map which cannot show the pitfalls in the road ahead. The task of moving towards a just social order or just institutions is further compounded by the new technology waves of information and connectivity. The intrusive use of technology, our near slave conditioning by technology, the new intelligence systems we are creating, and the attendant problems of new forms of crime and deviant behavior. These aspects we study not in isolated penal legislations. Every law, virtually every law in all spheres of life, now demand and require varied compliances. It can be a domestic violence law, or the environmental law, or the information technology law, laws relating to drugs, or relating to economic securities, and so on. All of them provide in regard to punishments. The police state is in a way. We are in a quandary as to righteously govern and to a virtuous social order with or without such penal provision. In other words, no part of our life and social transaction are free from the holds of penal elements of law. No conventional science of penology will apply to these socio-economic legislation, as we think that balancing the demands of constitutional preamble of social, economic, and political justice and freedoms need these penal elements in all laws. Let me go back to technology. No part of technology is free from abuse. A knife can be used for a kitchen use and also for killing. The internet and the cyberspace are like Jekyll and Hyde. What regulations of technology use will satisfy rights, protections, and what will not. The visual and the social media are both spaces of freedom and space of malevolence and mental extremity and aberrations. The tensions between privacy and social control are not easily manageable. The conflict between social security and national integrity and subversive use of technology are complex and subtle. The global attempts to regulate visual and social media and the resistance against it takes us to the fundamentals of social order and private limits. 10 dimensions of technology regulation have been propounded in a publication titled Dimensions of Technology Regulation. It is suggested that we look at the different types of technology, the innovative extent, the place occupied by it, the time a technology is stood by, etc. How do we generate standards of evaluation and how do we design norms and methods of regulations are questions that are no longer national issues. In the way we studied contract law in early 19th century or even tort law used to be pressed into service in these areas, there can be serious roadblocks. As a student of law in contemporary times, we are thus called upon to develop a new science of discretion. This I may call techno-economic discretions for dealing with socio-political good and ills. Science and mathematics are about asking questions and about verification and refutation. The Nyaya Shastra that Indian taught also taught us about verification and refutation. What about law? What is verification and validation in law? The laws and decrees made in the assemblies of peoples, if treated as stuff of settlement of disputes and disagreements in life, are courts the only field of verification and validation? How and why are courts final in the verification or validation of legal principles? Remember the famous statement of Justice Jackson of US Supreme Court about the court that, I quote, "We are final not because we are infallible. We are infallible because we are final," end quote. Is a world of justice a laboratory which never sleeps, as answers and questions or in perennial competition. It is by journeying along these lines that you, as a student of law, began your voyage as an explorer. Study of law, like study of science, is about exploration. Study of law is not mere stories set out in judgments, demanding just explanation in support of a law or a judgment is a close correspondence to science. We need to pay attention to how this connection is important for practice of law in all spheres. In other words, if you're not trained in a special way of science relevant to law, you are not fully equipped. We are tempted to ask a question. Can there be a law which is scientifically valid? Can we establish dispute resolution institutions which can work like laboratories? I ask of you to constantly reflect and ponder on these ideas. A convocation talk is not a mere coffee table fading chat, vanishing along with the warmth of the coffee, or a pep table talks of do's and don'ts. It's something beyond that. The problem is, however, is our constant disagreement with what was perceived as just and fair yesterday. The connected problem is how do we arrange norms, principles, systems, and procedures to balance diversities in life and diversity of perspectives and ideas and emotions. What is the role of law in these matters? The diversities are differences in economic opportunities and status, differences in faith and language, or even differences in natural endowments. These cannot be handled by any textbook prescriptions. When political ideologies tend to offer all good time economic or social prescriptions, they can fail. Constitution and laws endeavor to manage the diversity and keep moving in direction that likely to lead to equality in every aspect of life. Let it be clear that none of the balancing arrangements we plan or visualize can be under mere paperwork. Each one of our balancing diversity involve social, economic, and financial costs and state of mind, wastes and joys. Our budgets can be drives in wilderness or tiresome march through deserts in search of oases. Our political party manifestos can be too ambitious to be converted into workable principles. As we move into a technology-driven world, many other questions emerge. No law today can be away from accountability scrutiny. I understand that we're entering a world of several uncertainties. Law schools teach about rights, about governments limited by constitutional provisions, about federalism, about the lofty connection between the preamble and the directive principles, about judicial review, and compulsively about judicial activism. We eulogize Justice Frankfurter of the US Supreme Court and passionately talk about Montesquieu and separation of powers. At the end of the day, the following statements are made in the study of the US constitutional law about US Supreme Court. I quote, today, more than 30 years removed from the retirement of Chief Justice Earl Warren, that hope seems remarkably naive. Contemporary constitutional scholarship is dominated by articles and books arguing that judges are ill-equipped to solve the social problem that trouble us, and that their past efforts to do so have been inept, ineffectual, or worse, and that when their decisions not merely reinforce current sentiment, they unjustifiably impose the views of cultural and economic elite on the rest of us. The debate in India is not very different. I understand that such statements belong to the past. And as we move into the dense jungle of technology domination and global interconnection, before I go into some intricate science and technology issues and the challenges to legal management of them, I wish to quickly scan study of law elsewhere. If you scan the programs of course, it is a national focus in different countries, national laws and national court systems. But at a common level, almost in all countries, you will find study of law involves international trade and commerce, international relations, and even comparative law. European countries offer an excellent example of comparative studies. Students go to some universities in Germany and Russia to study comparative legal studies. The European Court of Justice or of Human Rights applies principles of law prevalent in many European nations. The European Charter of Human Rights has become the source for a corpus of law of fundamental freedoms of equal value to international human rights law and practice. Study of law in several Asian, African, South, and South American countries fall in the same pattern. A 3-year or 4-year course, or like a 6-year study in Germany, are how basic legal studies are structured. But what needs to be noticed is how there is a convergence of subjects of study on the fundamental changes in the foundation of the subjects themselves. I look back at a time when law colleges produced lawyers who learned procedural laws. I belong to the generation. I studied the penal code or the contract and personal law. And after independence, the constitution and some other aspect of tax laws. These were studied as unconnected subjects. Either you become a civil or a criminal lawyer. Lawyers were tied up to the litigating court system and became a partner in the system and no longer questions regarding and no larger questions regarding social responsibilities of courts were ever asked. The image of a lawyer called for huge changes. Well, the image of a lawyer was one of a respectable social status. Freedom struggle called for huge changes. Post independence, the scene changed. Even then, the focus and attention was on producing a court tied up professional who will sell his or her services for a cost. The court as a litigating space continued to be the theme around which study of law would evolve. Even today, the core focus is on producing litigating legal professionals. The global and domestic social and political changes, the global impact on economy, the global exchanges of human values are now irreversible. Technology has played a great role in this development and it will play a larger role in the future. Who is the future legal technocrat? How will she or he design institutions for resolution of disagreements? Whether the current court systems in the physical space will be able to cater to the huge demands of the future. Let me digress a little. It's inspiring to read what Alexis de Tocqueville wrote in his Democracy in America, which he wrote while being asked by the French government way back in 1895 to study prison systems in the US. He talked about a new political science that is needed to instill democracy and how mediating institutions could play a role in moderating the tyranny of the majority. Who can be these institutions? He found that in America, lawyers were the obvious choice as they, he said, belong to the people by birth and interest, to the aristocracy by habit and by taste, and they must be looked upon as the natural bond and connecting link between the two great classes of society. Unquote. He thought about the connection between the broadening of the franchise and the lawyer's influence in public business. He thought that the special information which lawyers derive from their studies ensures them a separate station in society and they constitute a privileged body in the scale of intelligence. They serve as arbiters between citizens, the highest political class and the most cultivated circle of society, he said. Looking at the European history, he found that lawyers' influence in European political life had been volatile, working with the aristocracy in England and against it in France. Having nothing to gain by innovation made them somewhat conservative and fostered a natural taste for public order. He thought, I quote, that this particular class of men will most likely play a prominent part in that order of things with the events of our time are giving birth. And he thought about the great visionary future. He criticized English lawyers for accepting injustice as natural and using legal jargon as an instrument of mystification. In a way, he was looking into the future of the legal profession in democratic countries, and we're witnessing it today. How much of all the such reflections about role of law and lawyers as a great mediating class made in 1835 are relevant and true in contemporary times? We are indeed a privileged class, privileged by reason the tasks assigned to us. Our studies, like that of science and technology, give us a separate station in society. But the question is, how do we practice our privilege and how do we cultivate consciously our separate station in society? The answers do not lie in mere rules of professional ethics. As we move into a different machine age, different from the pre-information technology age, both study of law and practice of law is going to be different and fundamentally different. However, this branch of knowledge, one may call it justice knowledge, will serve social interest in many ways and will be playing a prominent part in manifold aspects of social arrangements, social changes, social order, and justice delivery. The future of the legal studies will be about reimagining justice knowledge. I come back to a few challenging science and technology matters. There is a growing debate about the intrusive use of technology, CCTV, biometrics, databases, and other tracking technologies corresponding to what the George Orwell thought about in his great work, 1984. They're all information baskets about each one of us. They can be used for purposes of criminal investigation, as also for tracking generally. They can be used for more benevolent ends and distribution of welfare benefits too. The Puttaswamy judgment has spoken about the right to privacy, so also several judgments elsewhere. The 2008 judgment of the European Court of Human Rights in Yes and Marper versus the United Kingdom, which found the retention of DNA profiles violates Article 8 of the European Convention, tells us how difficult it is going to be through the balancing act between public interest in crime detection and privacy. The same difficulty of balancing can be seen in the recent judgment of the Supreme Court in the electoral bonds matter. The choice between two courses of action in technology regulation or use is thus going to be a major challenge. There can be no social action without data or information. Economic order or other social decisions cannot be in the absence of data. Just as the stock exchange lives by minute-to-minute information, taking decisions require emerging information. Implementation of policies and laws cannot happen without information. The pace with which new technology arrives will determine the changes in our lives. The speed of technology change, let us say post-independence, in the past 70 years will be displaced by a more swifter technology changes. One wonders whether by the next 2 decades, the life conditions of all peoples of the globe will be different from what it is today. When conditions of life changes, so will study of such conditions also change. I visualize new course of governance, new forms of governance institutions, and new legal methods emerging. These challenges therefore require from us readiness to adapt and move ahead. We will drop our habits of thoughts and actions grounded on mere attachment to divisive identities, such as superiority of faiths or creeds and languages. How will your study of law and practice in contemporary times be in remaining in the past? The Constitution cannot sleep. It is the antithesis of Kumbhakarna. It is unlike a Shakespearean play without an end. It is destined as an idea and as a process to pass through periodic discoveries about what is best. The deeply rooted element in human consciousness to grasp, to fathom, and to project civilizational urges will inform and enrich these discoveries. Institutions may be designed, experimented, and discarded, and after all, even among altruists, there can be serious disagreements. It's all for the above reasons, I say, that the perennial test of our commitment to an open society will always remain a challenge. But before we walk fast on the calls of the future, we have some urgent tasks to perform through rule of law. Attainment of equality of economic and social status is the task. Only we can insist on the values of rule of law and have the courage to insist that those in power abide by rule of law. If rule of law is a non-violent revolution, we need to practice law in a way that non-violence informs all our conduct and thoughts, both in personal and professional life. While feeling great about political freedom, one bias from colonial powers, Dr. Ambedkar prophetically mused about economic freedom and the task of liberation of the depressed. On 22nd December 1952, Dr. Ambedkar spoke at the Pune District Law Library on conditions precedent for the successful working of democracy. He quoted Walter Begott, an English writer, who talked about democracy as government by discussion. Among certain conditions, he emphasized the importance of public conscience and moral order in society. As we move into greatly contested public discourses an age of intelligent technology, an age when opinions of doubtful validity can be easily and infectiously generated. Our responsibility and engagement in articulating regulations and refining rule of law increases. You are graduating from an institution dedicated to the great visionary and thought leader. You must creatively internalize his thoughts for the future. Your graduation today be a dedication to his contributions, and let the dedication continue to guide you ahead in personal life and professional field. அனைவரும் வாழ்க வளமுடன். வளர்க தமிழகம். அன்றைய அன்றைய வள்ளுவனும் நேற்றைய பாரதியும் உரைத்த அற உரைகள் நம் நல உரைகளாக தொடரட்டும். வணக்கம்.
Let candidates be now presented.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you 21 candidates for Doctor of Philosophy in Law and 1 candidate for Doctor of Philosophy in Interdisciplinary Studies who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degrees. Usha C. Usha C. Amara M. M. Sivaraman. Gautaman N. S. Vijayan. Hepzibah Beulah. Krishnaleela S. J. Devi. Vishagamurthy N. B. Jawaharlal Nehru. Krishnaveni Shivanyanam. Sunil Raja M. Gomati Shankari R. Meikriti M. Srividya V. Subhashni A. G. Vijay Kumar. Vijay Karthik V. Santhosh Kumar, PG.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you 1,282 candidates for undergraduate degrees, postgraduate degrees, diplomas in the Faculty of Law from the School of Excellence in Law, who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degrees, diplomas, and to be awarded the prizes and medals. Arinian, the recipient of University Gold Medal, NEPC Trophy, Honorable Justice K. Veerasamy Endowment. Niveda P., the recipient of University Gold Medal and NEBC Trophy. Induja C., Honorable Justice K. Veerasamy Endowment. Madhumita S. V. Dasaratha Ramaya Memorial Endowment 2. Sasi V. Dasaratha Ramaya Memorial Endowment 2. Shubhashini M. Sri V. Sridevan Endowment. Vinu Sri G. Sri V. Sridevan Endowment. And Preeti A., the recipient of Sri A.R. Venkataramani Endowment. Divya MB, Sri A.S. Venkataramani Endowment. Sevanu Mehta S., recipient of University Gold Medal, Professor Thirumalai Adiseshan Endowment, Honorable Justice K. Veerasamy Endowment, Professor KGR Scholarship. Akshaya M., recipient of University Gold Medal, Professor Thirumalai Adiseshan Endowment, Honorable Justice K. Veerasamy Endowment, Madras Bar Association Endowment. Vaidishwari N., recipient of NEPC Trophy. Yamini S., Justice M. Srinivasan Endowment. Yuvashri P., Honorable Justice P. N. Bhagavati Endowment. Arshini R., Justice M. Srinivasan Endowment and Professor KGR Scholarship. Preeti S., NEPC Trophy. Sethu Priya N., Honorable Justice P. N. Bhagavati Endowment. Nimra Ali is the recipient of University Gold Medal, Madras Bar Association Endowment, Ms. P.B. Sanjana Endowment Scholarship. Rugma S., the University Gold Medal and Ms. P.B. Sanjana Endowment Scholarship. J. Shalini S.R., Ms. P.B. Sanjana Endowment Scholarship. Aparna R., University Gold Medal. Manasi Sethia Jain, recipient of University Gold Medal. Jayadurga, recipient of University Gold Medal. P. 11 Hill, recipient of University Gold Medal. Afrin A., the recipient of University Gold Medal and Madras Bar Association Endowment. Lakshmi Priya A., recipient of University Gold Medal and Madras Bar Association Endowment. Muhammad Wasif Khan, the recipient of V. Dasaratha Ramaya Memorial Endowment 1. And Sharmila Banu M. V. Dasaratha Ramaya Memorial Endowment 1.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you 4,534 candidates for undergraduate degrees, postgraduate degrees in the Faculty of Law from the affiliated law colleges who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degrees, diplomas, and to be awarded the prizes and medals. Parameshwaran, University Gold Medal. Hema Priyadarshini, University Gold Medal. Nitya Priya, University Gold Medal. Pramalata, Honorable Justice S. Santhosh Kumar Gold Medal. Kritika, Sri A.S. Venkataramani Endowment. Dora Christopher Nyanaya, Sri S. Venkataramani Endowment. Saraswati, A.S. Venkataramani Endowment. Burslin Mahin, Honorable Justice K. Veerasamy Endowment. Bavitra Salja, Honorable Justice K. Veerasamy Endowment. Kalaivani, Honorable Mr. Justice S. Ashok Kumar Gold Medal. Bhakya, University Gold Medal. Madras Bar Association, Professor Thirumalai Sami Organization Endowment. She is taking 3 medals. Supriya, Government Law College Dharmaburi, and she is also going to take 2 medals. University Gold Medal, Madras Bar Association, Professor Thirumalai Organization Gold Medal. G. Vishal, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, late Sri V.V. Ramana Rao Endowment. Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Pooja, late Sri Ayodhya Ramaya Endowment. Yuvraj Pandian, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Sri Ramachandran Endowment. Abdul Kader, Honorable Justice P.N. Bhagavati Endowment. Carmel Jensi, Government Law College, Chinaveli, Honorable Mr. Justice Ashok Kumar Gold Medal. Priyaval, Government Law College, Villupuram, Honorable Justice Veerasamy Endowment and Anand Rao Endowment. Rajashagar, Government Law College, Villupuram, Anand Rao Endowment. Naveen, Central Law College, Salem, Honorable Justice P.N. Bhagavati Endowment. Kar Kudali, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, late Sri Ayodhya Ramaya Endowment. Priyadarshini, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, late Sri Ramana Rao Patnaik Endowment. Yogeshri, Government Law College, Madurai, Honorable Justice P.N. Bhagavati Endowment. Praveen, Government Law College, Kochi, Anand Rao Endowment. Shanmuga Priya, Government Law College, Coimbatore, Salem Advocate Sri K.R. Radhakrishnan Endowment. And Honorable Justice P.N. Bhagavati Endowment. Vinita, Government Law College, Chinaveli, Honorable Justice S. Ashok Kumar Gold Medal. Darshini, Government Law College, Vellore, Honorable Justice P.N. Bhagavati Endowment. Nisha, Government Law College, Villupuram, Honorable Justice K. Veerasamy Endowment and Anand Rao Endowment. Kalaivanan, Government Law College, Chengalpattu, Anand Rao Endowment. Valarmati N is going to take 3 medals, 5 medals. University Gold Medal, late Sri Ayodhya Ramaya Endowment, Madras Bar Association Endowment, Honorable Mr. Justice Ashok Kumar Gold Medal, Thirumalai Organization Endowment. Arogya Mary, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Tiruvallur, late Sri Ayodhya Ramaya Endowment. Arul Prasanna, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Tiruvallur, Ramachandran, Sri V. Ramachandran Endowment. Roja Sri, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Tiruvallur, late Sri Ayodhya Ramaya Endowment. Sandhya, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Tiruvallur, late Sri Ayodhya Ramaya Endowment. Vinish Sudarshan, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Tiruvallur, Honorable Justice Santhosh Kumar Gold Medal. Gajendra Prabhu, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Tiruvallur, late Sri Ayodhya Ramaya Endowment. Gokul Prashant, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Tiruvallur, late Sri P.V. Ramana Rao. Mohana Priya, Government Law College, Salem, Honorable Justice P.N. Bhagavati Endowments. Lifni, Government Law College, Theni, Honorable Justice P.N. Bhagavati Endowments. Manjari, Girta, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Tiruvallur, late Sri Ramana Rao Patnaik Endowments. Monica, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Tiruvallur, Sri V. Ramachandran Endowment. Sudarshan, Government Law College, Honorable Justice Veerasamy Endowment, Anand Rao Endowment, Anand Rao Endowment for Company Law. Rakhi Krishna, Saraswati Law College, Dandivanam, Anand Rao Endowment. Abhinami, Chennai Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Tiruvallur, late Sri V. Ramana Rao.
Good morning. Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you 408 candidates in absentia. 52 candidates for postgraduate degrees or diplomas from School of Excellence in Law and affiliated law colleges. 113 candidates for undergraduate degrees from School of Excellence in Law and 243 candidates for undergraduate degrees from affiliated law colleges in the Faculty of Law who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degrees and diplomas. Thank you.
Let the candidates stand and take the pledge. We shall, in thought, word and deed, ever endeavor to be scrupulously honest in the discharge of our profession and shall uphold the dignity and integrity of our profession and the honor of our university. We shall uphold and advance social order and well-being of our fellow citizens, and shall devote all our energy to promote the unity and integrity and secular ideals of our country. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of the Tamil Nadu Dr.Ambedkar Law University, I admit you to the several degrees, diplomas of law for which you have been declared qualified in this university. And in token thereof, you have been presented with those degrees, diplomas, and I authorize you to wear the robes ordained as insignia of your degrees, diplomas. Let the candidates be seated. I dissolve this convocation.
On behalf of the Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University, our Vice Chancellor will now honor Honorable Governor Chancellor with a memento. We request the Vice Chancellor to honor our Chief Guest, the respected Attorney General of India, with a memento. Now, we request the Vice Chancellor to honor our Pro-Chancellor, Honorable Minister for Law, with a memento.
National Anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल भंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा जल तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष माहे आहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल गायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
பட்டம் பெற்ற மாணவர்களுக்கும் அவர்கள் குடும்பத்தினருக்கும் எங்கள் வாழ்த்துக்கள். பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்த அனைவருக்கும் சட்ட பல்கலைக்கழகம் சார்பில் நன்றியினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். அனைவரும் தங்களது இருக்கையில் சில நிமிடங்கள் இருக்குமாறு வேண்டிக் கொள்கிறோம்.
On behalf of the Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University, we thank each